Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're checking out Shoot First. This is a roguelike sort of action shooter top-down experiment. This is by the same developer, if you remember, that did Action Fist. The name is Technopants. And it looks very cool. This was done, or this video is being done at a viewer request. And the second it was mentioned, I remembered, I've heard this a couple of times. And it was one that I'd kept, I think, on the back burner, or maybe I'd written it down at one point and then it kind of got glossed over. Anyway, I don't want to keep us on the menu for too long. Let's start this thing up. Just want to show you the options very quickly. There you go. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, let's start it up. Great music on the title screen, by the way. So we've got some scan lines. We've got our little guy here who looks like he might fit right in, I don't know, some kind of like Atari situation, maybe. Maybe like Spectrum. ColecoVision. And this is sort of a hybrid... Whoa, we've got some dangerous crossball things there. Wow, I'm sort of overwhelmed already by the enemies and all the stuff that's going on here. So we're running around, we're trying to shoot everything we can. I guess I found another member for my party, which seems like a great thing to have. Very lo-fi aesthetic, but I think it's very effective at the same time. I'm getting a little bit of a vibe of like Probability Zero. If you guys haven't watched that video, another very cool game with a similar vibe to it. This one seems a little bit more upbeat though. I mean, it's not flashing messages about your impending death, which is usually a good start. I've gotten a Viking helm, let's pick that up. So you'll notice there's a number of things going on in the inventory. We've got a health bar, some sort of a yellow bar, which I'm not sure what that is yet, probably experience. And then we've got our items, our equipables, and such. There is a pause, and there is a map, which we can hold down. I actually set this all up to work on my Xbox 360 controller, so I'm holding Y for that. And then just shoot, and then pick up stuff. Those are really all the buttons aside from movement. So we're going to do some exploring here. See about this treasure chest, perhaps. What do you have? Mighty Vulcan Cannon. Oh, this seems much better. Level upgrades, bullet speed, rapid fire rate. Okay, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to using some more of this. These are reminding me of the bone wheel skeletons from Dark Souls. Almost equally frustrating. And I'm probably going to die pretty soon, because I do not have what it takes at this point. I'm still learning what's going on in this one. So you can play this co-op, which I think is going to be probably recommended. That sucked. There is me. Let's try that again. Any kind of local co-op games I definitely am always into. I just don't really have anybody right now to play with. But for you guys out there that are looking for a sweet indie game to play with your friend, your roommate, your girlfriend, whatever, this is probably going to be a pretty good idea for that, especially if they're into this sort of an aesthetic. And the upgradable stuff, the roguelike stuff, that always lends to a lot of replay value. This seems awfully hard, though. I guess that's the downside of being randomly generated or procedurally generated. You can't really know what you're going to get into until you're already in it. These guys are doing a lot of damage to me. I may just have gotten two kind of bad draws for first levels here, which is fine if that's the case, so I'm already dead. I barely got to start on this one. I'm going to run through that one more time. Maybe we'll get a good one, or maybe we'll just get a nice power-up to start us off. That'll really help out. Love the sound effects, too. There's some really wacky stuff going on. The whole thing has a very surreal vibe to it. Oh, okay, we've got traps in the floor. I guess that's what these other colored tiles are. And then we've got a diamond that looks straight out of Terraria or something. Alright, these green guys gotta go. This actually seems like a pretty cool game that I might consider Let's Playing if it turns out to be something you guys like to watch. I would kind of like to see me myself get quite a bit further into the game than I have been able to so far. Of course, this is still just the beginning, so I'm going to keep running this for a bit until we get some progress. I don't think I've hardly ever cut out on a video like right at the beginning. I'm really going to need some better equipment though, because I'm not, you know, ready to go and fight some of these guys. Armor of, what is it? Manly Fighting. Big armor of manly fighting. That sounds pretty good. I mean, maybe I'm just not aware. Maybe the part of the... Oh, wow, that thing explodes. part of the entertainment value here is just how difficult this game might be, and in which case I'm totally up for that. I think that was supposed to be like a rescuable, sort of like a damsel. Oh, come on. I can't do much about that ball. It's coming right at me. I think when you say it's coming right at us, or it's coming right for us, you're supposed to shoot it. I didn't really quite execute properly on that one. So we've got damsels, we've got pick-upable equipment. I can't do anything about that thing. It doesn't even take damage. I guess I just have to get out of the way. Oh, seriously? On every side? What was I supposed to do? Is that a boss? It looks like the green Castle Crashers guy. Or maybe something from a virus named Tom. Zimmy Zam Zim. I'm not probably going to be able to beat this guy. Maybe I should go over here. Let's look at our map. See if there's maybe something in this direction worth perusing. Regardless of the fact that I said I'm having a bit of trouble with this one, I'm actually still quite enjoying it. Everything feels really solid about it, actually. Like, the controls feel great. The sound effects feel like they have some impact to them. Everything has nice animation. I mean, in its aesthetic. I'm not saying that the animation's, like, particularly smooth or beautiful or anything in contrast to, you know, generally accepted game aesthetics, but I think for the lo-fi vibe that we're going for, I think everything fits quite well within that framework. I'm going to try and use some of these edges as cover, perhaps. Okay, well, I'm dead again. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. But let's just keep grinding away, and eventually I'll get a good run, right? That's how it works. That's how Spelunky usually worked. Plus, we gotta learn all the enemy types. I mean, it's sort of like the Binding of Isaac, right? You start out and you're terrible at the game, play it 100 times, all of a sudden, you know, beating Mom is not even a problem. So a potion seems like a good thing to have, although I don't think I get to hold on to that potion, because as far as I can tell, there's no inventory management screen. Unless there is, and I'm just not pressing escape to get to it. No, escape just brings you to the main menu. I've said this in a number of videos in the past, but indie developers, please, please don't make escape go directly out of the game, or, you know, even worse, directly to your desktop. Just one confirmation dialogue to let us know what escape is going to do for us will make somewhat of a difference if you haven't. Oh geez, there's a trap making the walls close in. Gotta kill all these guys first and then it'll open. And I'm dead again. Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe this is the kind of game that requires a second player to really be effective. But again, still learning, still getting better. But yeah, to finish my rant, please don't make us drop right out to the desktop. All we need to do is just have it say, do you want to quit the game, or do you want to go to your desktop, or do you want to go to the main menu? Like, one chance to hit escape again, and primarily, or hopefully, what happens is when you hit escape a second time, instead of bringing you out, it will actually just escape the escape menu. Then it should be like a yes or a no, or it should be like hit enter to escape, and escape again will bring you back to the game. That would be ideal for me. What is this? Fountain of Youth? Feel incredibly healthy and naive. Alright, so I'd really like to get to like the second floor, if that's at all possible. You'd think being equipped with a gun that can shoot this fast would make more of a difference. I gotta not pick up that potion. Oh, picking it up is walking over it in this case. Most of the other time it seemed like picking up was pressing the pickup button, so I guess that's a little inconsistent. But these are rules that you would learn over time, having played this several times. So what are you supposed to be? Anything? Well, I don't know, but I have a full map, which is kind of neat. Maybe I can level up some, maybe that'll help me out. I would like to see some other graphical themes going on aside from just this blue floor, and I know that is the case if we get further in. So it's not like I'm actually leveraging some sort of, or leveling some sort of criticism at the game for that. It's entirely acceptable since we're still on the first level. We gotta get that key, actually. We gotta progress forward to see what kind of other stuff awaits us. So I should mention, this downloaded version that I have right now that I'm playing for the video is completely free, but there is a donation-supported version of the game as well. And I believe it will get you some extra weapons and like an extra graphical theme or like an extra level. Not sure how that's broken up yet. What did I get? Sidewinder? Double bullets, level, upgrades, reload speed. Cool. I could use all the help I can get, so how about we hit some stuff with that. Of course, every single bullet gets dodged. Somehow. Man, you guys really are interesting. You have awfully good AI. The little sprite people. Crossball, I hate this thing. That thing is my worst nightmare. It follows you, it's faster than you, it kills you in like a couple of hits. I don't know why I keep going to weekly, monthly scores there. I may just be so bad at this game I might not be able to beat the first floor. I don't know. I'm dead again. I mean, obviously walking into them isn't really going to do a lot of favors for my character. But yeah, certainly punishing. No doubt. I mean, if you guys can see what I'm doing here and think that this game isn't punishing, well, maybe you're a better man than I. A better man or woman than I. Whenever I use the gendered sort of terms in general, I'm always referring to, you know, non-specific gender, in case you're wondering. But sometimes I also feel like the need to be more politically correct, and then I go on and say both. So I'm almost dead again, that's cool. But yeah, for example, like every day I pretty much close the show out by saying, you know, talk to you tomorrow, guys. And I'm not just talking to the guys, I'm aware there are a few ladies watching as well. But, you know, ladies call each other guys sometimes, just the way the language works. Try not to be so specific about this stuff. You don't need to be critical. If you're going to be critical of anything, let's be critical of the indie games. And actually, it's a little frustrating sometimes when I do a video and it seems like the majority of the comments are just talking about, like, some word I said or, like, the fact that I didn't do something the way they wanted. I mean, granted, these are first impressions of the game, and a lot of these things get sorted out if you were to play this game for a few minutes by yourself, you know, not really thinking about much other than the game, concentrating on what's going on the screen, you know, generally not running a monologue at the same time. It definitely helps. It makes a big difference in your gameplay. Even just with basic dexterity and stuff, your motor coordination can get a little bit strange when you're trying to keep a monologue, your free association going. But I'm not complaining or anything, I just want to say, like, if you're watching and, you know, you're about to leave a comment and you're deciding whether or not you should leave it about the fact that I, you know, nitpicked something and did it wrong, or the fact that the game is, you know, inherently flawed or inherently amazing, you know, I'd prefer that you went for the game criticism if possible. But not that I'm against any criticism of my own right, I'm totally accepting that as well, and I do want to continue to improve and get better at what I'm doing. So I do welcome the criticism, just when it's, you know, the most of the comments threads. But, you know, I can't control YouTube. You guys are going to do what you're going to do. I'm cool with that. And for those of you who are new to the channel, please don't get the wrong impression. I absolutely do love any kind of dialogue that you guys want to offer. I think the worst thing that can happen, much worse than getting critiqued on your narration style or your gameplay style, is to just have no one saying anything. That's just a sad state of affairs. And all too common, unfortunately, on YouTube. So it looks like we almost had the opportunity here to move down to the next floor. I think I actually could have gone already, I just chose not to, so I wanted to continue to explore. This is quite a large floor, in fact. I do value myself as somewhat of a completionist, so I was sort of going through to want to finish off this map. Kind of glad these guys don't seem to be respawning, because that would be the worst if we had, like, the Mega Man style respawn situation. Boots of blatant daggers. Enemies also get hurt when you collide with them. Cool. So it's like poison touch. Seems like my gun's doing some damage now. I kind of like that. Some of these guys seem a little tricky in general. You know, and I'd be remiss also if I didn't compare this game somewhat to Dungeons of Dreadmore, which is a game that I've often delayed showing on the channel for whatever reason. I don't know, I think it's just I'm too afraid that I'm going to spend too much time talking about something specific and miss the bigger picture of that game, because I'm just not very good at it. And I've had it since before I even started doing this series, but it's just something I've been too apprehensive about making. Oh wow, I stepped on some spikes. Yeah, I'm too apprehensive about just committing myself to a video on that, and I have actually covered it briefly with Anz on his channel. So if you guys want to see me play some Dungeons of Dreadmore, there is a way to do it. But it's mostly just, I think it's him playing and me complaining. I don't know. I do that occasionally. So let's head to the top right corner. We gotta clear that area out. I think I may actually, if I get really lucky here, I may be able to finish this floor. Is this... no, I wanted to go down one more than right. Impressively... oh, come on, seriously? I just killed myself on the spikes. Okay, well, you guys can skewer me for that, because I completely deserve it for that particular instance of poor play. Especially when I seemed like I was making some good progress. Holy crap. And there's no, like, invincibility frames. Every time you get hit, you just keep taking damage. Maybe I need to learn to back away from some of these fights and just, you know, live to fight another day. As they say, hey, potion. That did not give me nearly as much health as I was hoping. That is a dead end. Loops back around to the bottom. So how are we feeling about this game still? Well, seriously, I was just about to pick up the damsel. See what she's going to do for me. Anyway, how are we feeling about this game? We're feeling mixed. I'm feeling that the game is, in general, very good. But I think I may need to put a lot more time into it. What is this? Some kind of boss? But the music is excellent. The diversity in the gameplay is pretty excellent. The difficulty is certainly punishing. But I do like some learning curve in my game, so I really couldn't rightfully criticize it for that. You know, I'd much rather have a game that's far too hard for me than a game that's far too easy. If only for, you know, value for your dollar in general, and I know that's not the case in this particular game. But had I paid for a game that I found to be far too easy, I'd be much more frustrated if I was able to finish it very shortly. Versus, you know, taking a while to learn all the nuances, and the fact that there even are nuances and strategy involved lends itself to generally better design. And I don't actually feel like there's anything about this game that's particularly poorly designed. It's actually quite well designed. I think I'm just lacking in the skill department or experience department. Need to learn some tricks. Maybe I need to exploit the AI a little bit more. Could be. I'm trying to play this a little bit too much, perhaps like a run-and-gun style shooter, and maybe there's a lot more strategy than I'm giving it credit for. I wish my guy wasn't so slow. That would be kind of... well, not that he's terribly slow in general, but like compared to the enemy speed. Larvaled up. So those jewels that I keep getting, I guess those are... I don't know, are they for my weapon or something? Because they don't seem to be going for my XP. Maybe they're just points. Can I just go through this wall? I don't know, there's still a few things that are a bit foreign to me. I'm sure nothing that I couldn't figure out in time, though. And I'm sure you guys are going to help me out in the comments as well. This actually is a great kind of game that I might want to do some streaming of if I don't do a Let's Play series of it. Not that I've committed anything here yet, but I definitely could see myself getting into this, and I'm looking for some stuff to sort of pencil in. The Mighty Murderer, rapid fire rate, level upgrades, bullet speed. Yeah, I would rather have something that fires a little faster. But as I was saying, I'm just sort of looking for some stuff to pencil in as possible Let's Plays for the future. Because Scribblenauts is not going to be a particularly long series, actually. I recorded everything that I have up to episode 9 in 2 sittings. And the second sitting was quite short, in fact, so... I think we're probably going to be done with that one in, like, 25 episodes, maybe. I don't know, I should probably just count however many areas there are, because I seem to be doing them about 1 area per recording. But anyway, that's sort of here nor there. And hopefully you guys are watching that and enjoying it. I do realize that my Let's Plays are sort of on a different plane for a lot of you guys versus... oh, this boss is still here, I forgot about him. Versus my Indie Impression series. I know quite a few of you are here for that, and that's fine. I have no problems with that. You guys get what you need out of the channel. If you enjoy the Indie Impressions, that's cool. If you find my particular brand of commentary entertaining, then I really do value that, actually. And if you'd rather see me hanging out with Anza and doing stuff co-commentary style, you know, we've got something for everybody then. But some of my favorite stuff is just, it's finding the weirdest, most bizarre, most wild indie games possible. Seriously, they have to home in on me too? Ugh, this is getting a little I don't know, it's feeling a little like drudgery because I'm doing so poorly. Oh, there's spikes. Oh, seriously. I'm already dead, I might as well just finish myself off. Yep, that's me. Alright, so if I look on this... Oh no, forgot to hit the correct button there. I was going to look at the scores list. See what was going on, but yeah, I'm probably not even on it, actually. And I did map this to my 360 controllers, I almost always do. You'll know, if you've watched a few of these episodes, I quite frequently mention Joy-to-Key is my mapping tool of choice, and no exception here. Gets the job done, man, what can I say? I think there's a newer version of Joy-to-Key that's like a little bit more comprehensive, but it's also paid. I always have used the free version. Maybe the free version is like not available anymore, I don't know. I haven't really had to download it in a very long time. But I have noticed one time I tried to go get a new version of it and it was paid or something, so... in the event that you find yourselves trying to get Joy-to-Key so you can map your controls for whatever random indie game you happen to be trying to play, or, you know, non-indie game even, you may want to look back in the archives if you can find an older version of it, if you find yourself having to pay and would rather not. But again, I have no, ill will towards the Joy-to-Key developer. In fact, I think if you can afford it, please do support them. They provide a absolutely essential product here that I've been using for years for absolutely nothing, and, in the event that eventually I have some spare money, I'd be happy to donate or pay for a copy. Just saying. I know it's a bit tangential. Were those torches always blue? I thought they were red before. Whatever. Sidewinder, double bullets, level upgrades, reload speed. It seems like you fire so much more slowly when you get some of these other weapons that I don't know if it's always worth using them. I am dead again. I just may not have what it takes to play this game, simply. I mean, this is quite a few tries now. 747 is my total. It also just may be the fact, and I said this sort of a little bit before, that it's such a procedurally generated or randomized type of game that trying to get a high score based solely off of skill towards the beginning of your career in this game is probably not wise. Like, it's going to take some good luck to get past the beginning until you're quite proficient at fighting every single thing. And like I said already, I'm all for that. I'd rather have a game that takes a while to learn and is a lot more fun. It comes across more rewarding that way than something we could just breeze through. And if Dark Souls is any indication, I mean, you should know that's my opinion in almost all cases. See, this time I was able to dodge those boulders because there was sufficient time for me to get around that corner. I feel like I almost need to be anticipating those boulders on every single angle now, which may be a little bit alarmist of me. Oh, those guys had a ton of experience. I like these little blob guys, they seem awfully easy. So if I was designing this game, what things would I do differently? Well, I would probably make the level, or the difficulty curve, a little bit more on the forgiving side just at the beginning. Because there is a certain element, or a certain, I don't know, a group of people that would probably give up on this before they've spent enough time to know if they actually enjoy the main chunk of the gameplay. And I would never really want to alienate people right from the start. I would want to give them a chance to at least feel a little bit rewarded before they hit that wall. And I think that's one of the things about Dark Souls that they got so right. You know, the beginning of the game was, I don't want to say forgiving, but they definitely laid it out for you in a way that was accommodating to the player to get better. You know, I never got the impression playing Dark Souls that they just wanted to be jerks to you to be jerks because they were, like, laughing at you behind the scenes. And I'm not saying I feel that this is the case in this game either, but I think that the difficulty could probably be a little bit more balanced in the first floor. Maybe the first and second floors. You know, if you've ever played the original Diablo, I don't remember how many floors are in that, but the beginning of the game is generally always quite easy. And towards the end, it ramps up to be sometimes quite difficult. Depending on how your character progression goes, I mean, that is always a factor too. You can sabotage your game by being terrible in the you know, drops or stat allocation department, and thankfully that's not really an element here. Well, thankfully isn't the right word, because actually I wouldn't mind if there was stat allocation. Generally is always something that makes the game a little bit more flexible or dynamic. I'm glad the traps actually will take out some of the enemies as well. See, I thought the spikes were only on tiles that were darker colored, but no, they just seem to be somewhat at random, unless I'm missing the cue here. See, I was trying to look out there, I didn't really notice anything. But I'm still enjoying the music. In fact, this is probably one of the better or more engaging points of the game. The music is very well done. It sort of gives me a little bit of a vibe of like the Legend of Zelda dungeon music with something else going on over top of it. I don't know what they're doing. They got like a shield they're trading off. I'm trying to kite them around in circles. I don't think I can hurt him when he's got that thing up. Maybe that purple guy's like casting a spell and then it keeps wearing off. That's probably what it is. Maybe he's a wizard. Alright, we larvaled up. If you look at that sprite that the character is, sort of reminds me of Earthworm Jim. Just a little silly aside there. So we've got some more ground to cover in the top right corner. I can't really keep walking into those spikes. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's not that the controls are floaty or anything, I just keep like being distracted and then just walking right over them. So let's go up. We've got a bit of a loop. I don't know what that blue guy is or those gray guys. They both look terrifying. There's so many monsters. Oh, his name is Darius. So I guess that's our boss. Our boss is optional? I'm not really sure how that works. Those gray guys seem to be raging now. Also a bit of a graphical feeling of like they bleed pixels, although I'm pretty sure this may have come out first. I need some sort of like a bomb attack or something to take some of these guys out, because they're just too strong. Oh, he's got a bomb attack for me, and now I'm dead. Was that my high score at least? All time... Well, I'm not even on that at all. I think oh yeah, I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why. Monthly, weekly... It's cool that it's got leaderboards, I like that. Look at all these floor 1s. And look at all my terrible scores there. Nick. I'm quite addicted to it. I actually want to keep playing this. Because the fact that I'm doing so bad at it is just sort of like... It feels like it's pushing it in my face a little bit, and I feel like I need to do better to show it like I'm not that bad at the game. I don't know what this key is for. I mean, maybe there's like special locked chests, or maybe I can like open a shortcut, or maybe that's how you get down to the next floor. I don't know, I've still never done it. I really don't want to cut the video until I get to the second floor at least, because it's just too pathetic to just wander around on the same floor for, I don't know, however many minutes we've been playing now. I have a sneaking suspicion though that may end up being what happens, but we'll see. We'll give it a few more tries maybe. But I don't want to belabor this as well, because I feel like I've covered most of what I need to say about it. And by now, if you don't have a decent impression of what to expect by this game, then you probably just were skipping around too much in the video. I am curious about that as well. I know this has been a little bit of like a behind-the-scenes indie impressions where I talk about stuff less related to the game. But I am curious, having seen some of my analytics information, like how many of you guys watched the entire episode from beginning to end? And if you do, feel free to let me know, or if you do or you don't, either one, let me know in the comments how you feel about that whole situation. Does it look like a lot of people are actually spending something around like 2 to 5 minutes? Yeah, it is about time. Let's get out of here. I'm done with these guys. And if you just want to jump in, see the gameplay, and then you're out, like, that's fine, I don't mind. You guys get what you need to get out of these videos. But it might mean that I'm doing something drastically wrong here if you're not trying to listen. Oh, I killed the girl by accident. Or if you're not interested in listening to my commentary. I feel like that's the thing that's sort of making this experience that we're sharing somewhat unique, is the fact that it's, you know, the perspective that I bring to the game. At least that's what I'm hoping. And if you guys aren't, you know, taking much away from that, then maybe I need to not completely reevaluate, but like look at some of the other options I may have for delivering some of this content in a more engaging or enjoyable fashion. Because I am here to entertain, even though a lot of these videos end up coming across a little bit more on the informative side. I like to strike a balance when possible, although I think I probably lean a little bit too far sometimes into the informational side. I feel like that's what I really have, on offer, is somewhat of a reasonably intricate insight into games and game design. Just having spent so many years looking at it, thinking about it, dabbling in it, even though I don't have anything to show for it per se, I have messed around with a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm always curious to hear feedback from you guys, how you think the series is going, what you think is good or bad about it. I know there are some things that I could improve upon, though. I mean, obviously, the myriad times that it's come up that I've done something just horribly stupid in the video, but I really do like to leave those in because it's actually valuable information for the developer, because sometimes the reason that I did something stupid, granted, it's usually because I'm distracted, but sometimes it's also because of, say, like a misplaced UI element or like a text box that wasn't really properly highlighted. Well, I'm not really coming up with specific examples, but, things in that vein. And if it's something that may need to be addressed in the future, see, the torches do change. I'm happy to also be doing these, at least in part, for the developers to watch, because I think most of my videos end up getting over to the developer. Not every one of them, but like a good percentage of them. I'd actually much rather have this Mighty Murderer. I wish there were a few more guns in this game, in fact, or a little bit more diversity in weaponry. Can I just leave? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave, and then I can say that I've done what I set out to do. Holy crap, okay, everything looks different now. I guess this is much like Spelunky. The first... Oh, wow. That is dangerous. The first area was just us in a cave-type environment. This is like the jungle, I guess. Blatant daggers. I'm up for it. So yeah, I hope my ranting about the show on a more general level hasn't put you off. But if it has, sorry. Sometimes I just like to have a little bit of a dialogue with you guys about, how things are going. Long overdue channel update I'm probably going to be doing pretty soon. So I will address some of any, if you, mention your answers in this video, I'll probably mention them on that. And of course, if you have any questions about the show or concerns, anything like that, I always say, feel free to send me info on Twitter. But, comments or direct DMs on YouTube is fine, and I'm always happy to, if I get a number of questions on the same thing, I'll always do a video and, address that on a larger scale. Oh, those kill you. Okay, well, now I know. So, I guess this has been the shoot first and also talk about indie impressions episode. Sometimes we gotta do that, especially now that I have, a whole bunch of new people have just joined the channel, thanks in large part to Northern Lion being an absolutely wonderful human being and shouting me out in his Skullface video, which I'm so thankful for. In fact, anybody that came over here from Northern Lion, awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. I really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap up this episode. Like I've said 100 times, feel free to leave any questions, criticisms, suggestions, or comments below, because I am always happy to hear them. I actually really do want to get a bigger discussion going on every video. I think the comments tend to fizzle out pretty quickly. And I think this is really what I want out of this series, and what I want to encourage is a bigger discussion about each individual game. I want to get people, questioning not only just the things I've criticized about it, but what they see, what they bring to the table. Because what I'm doing is something that all you guys are doing too every time you play any game in your experience. You're bringing all of the preconceptions, all of the, the baggage that you have from all of your career in playing video games. You're bringing that to each game. So I'm always, curious to hear what that manifests as with each game. So that would be the dialogue that I'm hoping to promote, as well as just to, spread the love of awesome indie games, because there's hundreds of them out there, and, I haven't heard of nearly this many games that are both free, engaging, awesome, artful, beautiful, creative. All of this stuff has just come up in the last year or so of me doing this show. So I want to help promote that to you guys, find out more about indie games, tell your friends about them. I mean, there's just so much of an industry going on in this, sub-industry, that it seems like it's a crime that there's so much that's just getting passed over. And Shoot First is another example of it. Here's a great game. I didn't really know about this one in great detail. Now I've played it. Now you guys have seen it. So now you can go and grab it and play it with a friend, and maybe tell another friend about it, and, spread the joy. That's what we're here for. So I will wrap this episode off. I've gone very far out of the realm of usual Indie Impressions episodes, but hopefully it was either entertaining, informative, or something similar to that. If not, let me know. But as always, head on over to the website, www.indie-impressions.com. There's all the videos, old and new, over there. You can search them by genre, distribution method. You can even type in developers into the search box. Should be able to come up with stuff like that. So if you type in Technopants, you should get Shoot First and Action Fist. Similar things should occur with other, indie franchises or development studios. Aside from the website, though, facebook.com/indieimpressions. Leave a like on that if you choose, and then you'll get every day's new video delivered right into your inbox. I'm working tirelessly to provide you guys with hundreds of hours of indie game entertainment and enjoyment and, just diverse content. So, quickest way to get in touch with that, aside from subscribing on the channel, is just leaving that like on the Facebook page, and then you don't really have to go looking for them. They'll just come right to you. So it makes that nice and convenient. And I also run contests through the Facebook page occasionally. It's also a quick way to get in touch with me if you want to say hey, or if you want to message me about something. And lastly, at RockLeeSmile on Twitter. That is probably the fastest way to get in touch with me. Those 140 character nuggets of information make it very easy to have an exchange, unless you want to have a lengthy exchange, in which case probably the better way to do it is my email, which is, there's a contact form right on my website, which I mentioned already, indie-impressions.com. But again, I also take PMs via Reddit, YouTube, or Twitter, so whatever floats your boat, I'm happy to address. I've actually had a number of people just asking me about advice for what they think would be a good direction to go with in their indie game. So I think that's great fun. I enjoy dialoguing with indie developers for just about anything. If you think my opinion's useful or valuable to you, I'm happy to provide it. So I'm here for support, I'm here to provide entertainment, all of that good stuff. And I will stop going in circles now. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely night. I will talk to you tomorrow. Later, guys.